Welcome back to the Young Voter. For our weekly roundup today, it's Christmas Eve, so I want to wish everyone a happy Christmas Eve, and in anticipation of tomorrow, a Merry Christmas. Now, the legislative agenda for the lame duck session really came together over the past week. Last Saturday, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed 65 to 31. A lot of Democrats voted for its repeal, and a lot of Republicans as well. About 8 Republicans crossed over, including some surprises. John Ensign of Nevada and Richard Burr of North Carolina, one of the most conservative senators in the U.S. Senate. They crossed over and voted to repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the final vote. There was a cloture vote, and then there was the final vote, and Don't Ask, Don't Tell is now officially repealed. President Obama signed it into law on Wednesday, and now there will be a waiting period of about 60 days until it's fully implemented by the Army, and from now on, anybody will be able to serve regardless of sexual orientation. Will be able to serve openly, which is certainly a large step forward for human rights in this country and civil rights and individual freedom. Certainly people have the right. Doesn't matter. Sexual orientation, especially after the study was conducted, which showed that it wouldn't affect troop morale or battle readiness or preparedness. It showed that regardless of your sexual orientation, you can serve in the Army and there wouldn't be a problem. And I think it reinforced a lot of thinking that had been going on since the law was created, 17 years ago in '93. It was considered groundbreaking then, antiquated now, and nowadays people have come around to the idea that it was an unjust law, and finally it has been repealed and is a victory for civil rights. Now, of course, the Republicans continue to yell and scream and say this is awful, or at least a handful of Republicans have, including John McCain and Lindsey Graham. It's very curious because they just keep flip-flopping all over the place. It's really funny. I mean, they're not even a pancake house. It's pretty crazy. I mean, they're flopping all over the place. John McCain feels like he's a fish out of water. Of course, he said in the campaign in '08 that he said that if the military leaders, when the military leaders come to him and say it's ready for repeal, then he would consider and vote for repeal. The military leaders came out and said it should be repealed. Then this year he said, when a survey comes out, a survey of the Army to see is conducted to see if it will affect troop readiness, then I will vote for it. Survey came out. It said that it wouldn't affect troop readiness if Don't Ask, Don't Tell were repealed. Again, he votes against it. And now people are saying, Republicans are saying, oh no, but they're jamming it through. We should have had a longer discussion. Why? Why should we have had a longer discussion? Okay. This is not a question about battle readiness or troop integration and other things. I mean, integration was a problem. People spoke out against it back then, okay? But it should have happened, okay? Regardless of how it affected battle readiness. It doesn't matter. This is a question of civil rights. And civil rights and human rights and equality. And equality needs to extend through all branches of the United States government and public services. The Army is a branch of the government, okay? There needs to be full equality in there. Just as there should be equality within the Senate, the House, and if you're gay, you can be elected. You shouldn't be, closeted in order to serve in government. Then there should be no reason you should be closeted to serve in the Army. This is absolutely ridiculous, okay? They should have been allowed to serve from day one, and now finally they're able to serve. So any argument against it is, well, obviously now it's grasping at straws because it's been repealed, but I don't think it's a valid argument to argue about battle readiness. This is not a question about battle readiness. It's a question about equality. I don't care how it affects battle readiness, okay? I don't care if we're fighting 2 wars. We're talking about equality here. It's never too early to do the right thing. Okay, oh, well, it's too early. We need to stop. We need to stop. Oh, now we finished the war in Afghanistan. Oh, but we have to now start another war somewhere else. Oh, but we can't repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. We're in wartime. Give me a break, okay? Okay, this country is almost always in some sort of armed conflict, or at least we have troops stationed overseas constantly. So people are going to always try to grasp at straws to halt progress and to halt equality. I mean, they did it for integration, now they're doing it for the integration of gays and straights. Okay? This is not acceptable. Okay? And then I'm going to put my hand down, I put my fist down on this and say no. Doesn't matter. Equality is the most important thing. This is what this country was built on, whether the founders truly believed it or not. This is what it should be. Okay? And don't come on and tell me, okay, that, oh, well, if only we had studied it more, if we hadn't rushed it through the lame duck, we would have voted for it. No, Lindsey Graham, you wouldn't have voted for it. Okay, of course, Lindsey Graham, the senator who is reputed to be gay himself, closeted homosexual. There are rumors going around the Capitol that Lindsey Graham is gay. Of course, I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. Republican hypocrisy 101. I mean, it's nothing new in the Republican Party. So, finally, Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been repealed. It's a big step for human rights, okay, a giant step forward for America, and we should all rejoice. What else passed? The START Treaty passed. That's encouraging. It is the new START Treaty with Russia, which involves scaling down the number of deployed nuclear weapons. So now instead of having 2,500 or so, we'll have 1,500, okay, each, or roughly those numbers, and launchers and other things. Of course, some Republicans tried to block it, and now conservative talk show hosts are still yelling and screaming about things. I mean, they're saying that you shortchanged America and that you sold America out. Come on, you're sold America out? This treaty has been endorsed by every single former Secretary of State, Republican and Democrat, okay? All of the former Republican Secretaries of State have endorsed this treaty, saying it's very important, okay? And it's a good treaty. I don't understand how conservative talk show hosts and conservative pundits and analysts have any more credibility than a former Secretary of State. You don't have any credibility, so shut up. Okay, Dick Morris, who say that these Republican senators who voted for the treaty, Olympia Snowe, Dick Lugar, Thad Cochran, and Johnny Isakson now deserve primary challenges. Dick Morris, you're an idiot. Okay? Dick Morris on Fox News. Dick Morris is a complete fool. He's an idiot. You're going to have primary Thad Cochran and Johnny Isakson? Are you nuts? Those people are as far right as you can get. I mean, the further right you get, you're going to be fascist. You're going to be Hitler. Okay? Any more right than Thad Cochran is Adolf Hitler, okay? They're as far to the right as possible. So don't even give me that. Okay, Dick Morris. You're almost a closet Nazi. Gosh. You're not going to primary challenge Thad Cochran or Johnny Isakson. You're out of your mind. Okay? These people are crazy, okay? They're living in an alternate reality. And when I hear them talking, I just feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I mean, they don't... What part of 2010 do they not understand? It's the 21st century. We're not in the 19th or the 18th anymore. We've moved on. It's time for you to move on, okay? And get your fat ass off the chair and start walking with the wheel of progress, okay? And if you don't, you're going to be bowled over by that wheel. And it's about time. It just really upsets me. And of course, the START Treaty passed 71-26, and according to Fox News and all these other people, the 26 senators that voted against it are heroes. Okay, they're standing up for freedom. John Kyle and John McCain, the biggest flip-floppers and the most conniving human beings on earth. Okay, John McCain, who 3 years ago was considered a maverick, a quote-unquote moderate Republican, is now the most conservative Republican in the Senate. Okay, screaming and yelling and crying about Don't Ask, Don't Tell's repeal. Okay, yelling that the START Treaty is awful and it's going to undermine America. Bob Corker, who is the third highest ranking Republican in the Senate, voted for the treaty. Okay, he said he was convinced that approving this treaty would leave America safer than if he hadn't voted for it, if this treaty were not ratified. Because it continues nuclear inspections of the Russians. So now we actually are able to to inspect the Russians as opposed to not being able to inspect the Russians' nuclear facilities because the Old START treaty expired. But of course, the other Republicans just want to block anything Obama proposes. And they're playing politics, and then of course they're accusing the Democrats of jamming things through in the lame duck session and playing politics themselves. They're also now pulling out the card of, oh, it's the lame duck session. Nobody should be voting in a lame duck session. 20% of these lawmakers have been voted out of office. Are you an idiot? These people were elected for a term that ends on January the 5th. Okay? They should be voting. They should be in session up until January the 5th. They shouldn't even get a Christmas holiday, in my opinion. Okay? These people are living off of taxpayer money. Okay? They should be working for us 24 hours a day. Okay? Right up until the last minute, they should be passing bills. Don't give me the fact that, oh, it's a controversial bill. They shouldn't be voting on it in the lame duck session because the people are against it. Give me a break. The people voted for them so that they would fulfill their term. Okay? Their term ends on January 5th. The new Congress doesn't come in until January the 5th, and that's the only time that they'll be able to start voting. Okay? They shouldn't have a 2-month break after the election. Are you out of your mind? But these people are crazy. Okay? They're crazy right-wingers, and they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? They're not in tune with reality. Okay? And they appeal to the 5% of America. Okay? Of course, 20% of America listens to them because of Rupert Murdoch's media empire, which blasts Fox News into rural America, okay, above any other station that isn't able to get onto basic cable packages in rural America, and spews the right-wing nonsense on the majority of the U.S. population. It's crap, okay? It's not news. It's not information. It's propaganda, and I'm going to say it once and for all, Fox News is not a reliable source for anything. Okay, this is my rant for the day. Okay, it's infuriating. Okay, there's only one thing that Fox News has done well over the past week, and that's support the 9/11 bill. Wow, you thought that it might have been a time to support a bill for healthcare benefits for people that actually provided emergency services during one of the greatest catastrophes in our nation's history. Oh, but of course, Senator Tom Coburn of Oklahoma was threatening to block the measure. Now, of course, the measure passed unanimously. I mean, of course, why wouldn't it pass unanimously? But only after it was downgraded from providing services for 10 years to 5 years, and from $7.2 billion to $4.2 billion. This is medical service, okay? Providing medical service for heroes, for American heroes, okay? Not tax breaks, billions and billions of dollars in tax breaks to the richest people on Earth, okay? Not just in America, on Earth, okay? Who don't need them. But no, we can only afford $4.2 billion for healthcare benefits, to pay for healthcare benefits. Oh, but only for 5 years, 10 years. That's too long for average people. Come on, give me a break. And then, of course, another thing that failed this week, okay, getting into failure, the DREAM Act, of course, for illegal immigrants that were brought here as kids and who want to go to college and serve in the military. The plan was for them to have a pathway to citizenship. Makes all the sense in the world, of course. I mean, what are you going to deport all these people? These people are going to contribute to their country. They're going to fight for us. Okay, they're also going to go to college, be educated, contribute to our workforce in the modernization of American business. But no. It failed. And of course, several Democrats voted against it. Of course, John Tester in Montana. Ben Nelson in Nebraska is not even a question. By the way, Ben Nelson is gone. In 2012, I predicted Ben Nelson's out. Okay, he's going to do worse than Blanche Lincoln. I mean, you thought Blanche Lincoln did badly. 37% of the vote in the general election. Ben Nelson is toast, okay? Ben Nelson's going to get 25% in the general election. Ben Nelson's out. Ben Nelson is awful, okay? All right, well, thank you again for listening to my rant. I really had to get that out today. But I probably won't be back until the new year because there won't be much news because everybody's on vacation. All the politicians are not really doing anything except eating and getting fat. Off of your money, of course. So please listen next time around and have a Merry Christmas. That's probably the most important thing you can do over the next few days. All right, enjoy the holidays.